Hello everyone! If you are a fan or if you are at least interested with Hasbro products, we have got news for you. There are a few updates to new stuff as well as stuff that just general information updated. Obviously this right here is just 3D printing like crazy areas, but it is there for an actual reason for the discussion. So new listings have come out. We're gonna go from the least important, like the oh who really cares, to the most. On that, make sure you hit that like button and comment what you are most excited for. Make sure to listen till the end. First basic one is TYPHON. TYPHON? I said it wrong last time. I'm gonna TYPHON, whatever. T5. This is going to be 100% a recolor of the old one. Simple reason, they did it with Marigna. Expect the same thing. Expect the same thing. The only time this is the point I will make. The only time it's not a recolor is if they have a new name in the front of the thing. So whatever, like this, whatever, 5. So not really that special. One that was particularly interesting was a listing that finally got updated. Now, the names are Shield, Kerbeus, and Behemoth Cyclops. Very interesting. Now the Cyclops, I think they would make the GT version of. That makes the most amount of sense. Ogre got the GT evolution. Kraken got the GT evolution. This Cyclops came out around the same time as these.
Kraken is Valkyrie 3-5. Cosmic Kraken?
Yes. Cosmic Kraken, to give context, Cosmic Kraken used the Cosmo layer base from Valkyrie, but yeah, just mentioning that. So obviously when they're doing evolutions, that was a good point made. They might actually use the old random booster layer bases just with a different name. So that's why the point was made. Now the most interesting thing is Shield Kerbeus. Now I'm not going to get too excited and say, oh, it's the evolution to Kerbeus, because one, we just get the name, and two, we don't really know. I will just wait to see. However, I do want to propose two things. Do not forget that Hasbro in the past, when Turbo was coming out, they made up Lava X and Nubian, whatever themed name. Another thing to mention is that remember when we got the Switch Strike versions of Zutron and Treptune and they called it TIE Treptune and Asteroid Zutron? Who's to say it's not just a modification of Guardian Kerbeus? Who's to say? Maybe if it's an evolution, fair play. Maybe it is. I think Cyclops is the most plausible for the evolution. Most plausible. The next one, which is on the same kind of topic, very interesting, is Inferno Salamander S5. Now, I'm not going to say it's an evolution. If it's an evolution, I'm all for it. However, it could simply just be Salamander S4 as a fire recolor, and that's it. So keep in mind that that's a lot of times. I know when the names are at the front, and Hasbro's naming system is so confusing. I will say this, if it ends up being 100% true, 100% it's the actual evolution, that's fair play to Hasbro for taking advantage of doing these releases. I will actually talk about releases because a lot of people have been asking me when is X going to come out. These are of course the listings on their own if you were wondering. Moving on. Now, if you ever see a TAKARA TOMY name, don't get confused because a lot of times listings will have the Japanese name of the product and then after they get updated. You see Achilles A5, Eclipse Genesis, New Diabolo is going to have to be changed to Devilos. Knockout Odin we know as Myth Odux from previous videos we've done, as well as Imperial Dragon has already been changed to Command Dragon. Harmony Pegasus and Valtrek V5 RD we definitely know is going to be Cosmic Valtrek through my report at the New York Toy Fair. After that, we have the old listing of Kerbeus and Cyclops, which is very interesting. The one that had Cyclops misspelled. Then after Monster Ogre 05 is officially confirmed. That was the one we covered in the New York Toy Fair. It is an awesome green, black, and red evolution of it. On Guard we saw, which I believe is yellow. Master Devilos D5, that's one that updated, as well as Emperor Fornius. Harmony Pegasus, Lord Surprise, and Rock Tavor, and obviously Union Achilles. So the biggest question on everybody's mind is what's gonna happen, how is this gonna work, etc., etc. So I'm gonna have it on here. Actually, I'll have it on the base while I'm talking so I can explain. So first of all, if you go back to our N3 New York Toy Fair, I do recall them saying, I think they're doing like, was it 4 waves of singles? Something along those lines. I do know it was a little bit more than Turbo, I believe.
4 or 5 starters?
I think 4 or 5 starters, and I think 4, I just know I think it was a little bit more. But if I'm not exact on the number, I do remember that they did say they're gonna try to release a lot more. Something I do think is that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen most certainly because we still don't have Wave 3 yet. They're gonna do all these releases like crazy.
They're stretching. When we think is the waves are short, it's two new base and not 4 like before. And for some part of the research, I can tell that Achilles A5, 714 here, and Pegasus 719, Valtiac V5 720, and the new Diablo 718. So could be like two different waves, not in 4 products. So Achilles A5, new Diabolos D5, the Pegasus P5 and Valtiac V5 could be 2 separate waves and not 1 wave with 4 new ones. That is on the HASBRO way they register things. These were on a sequence.
So if I'm wondering, that's cool and all, you told us these listings. When do you think we're gonna see the next wave?
We already, I don't know. I think because of the pandemic, we all gotta wait. What I expect is certain countries start releasing and.
Okay, I think that's fair to say.
We're gonna have a flood of base really soon. And the other thing I can tell as well on our research is that the Knockout Olden,
the Mythodex thing, whatever.
Mythodex, Imperial Dragon, and Eclipse are the same wave because there are 3 sequence numbers on the registration.
All right, so just stand off. Yeah, to be honest, I think that's the most obvious thing. I think with what's happening in the world, maybe that's why we're just getting everything pushed out. I would say, if anything, if we don't see any product pictures, I would suspect the app. The app is the only bet now to find out what the products are going to look like. We saw in the Toy Fair they already had the demos there. I hope they just, it's I don't know. To me, I don't really think they need to sell it in stores. If you want my honest opinion, they could just go and sell it online easy. There's many online sites that can sell it. They could do some exclusive on their own HASBRO site to sell these new Beyblade products. But
the set before, I saw a date of sometime in July for the set we saw on Amazon Germany.
Yeah, which set? Oh, the
one we saw in New York.
The one with Apocalypse and the Golden Judgment.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That was a July date.
There's a July date, and
so I think what's gonna happen is, because they've been so slow, and in Canada not even Wave 2 got in here, because ToysRUs was supposed to have them in the end of March, but ToysRUs closed on March 23rd, not even the end of the March. So
also, what about the launcher? Because we just said the thing for the set. So what about the launcher?
The launcher should be earlier, like maybe
June.
Yeah, end of June.
Yeah, all right, so we talked about some dates that we actually digged on our own when we actually went to ToysRUs, and we actually...
Plus there's the other graphic.
Yeah, plus there's the other... No, yeah, we basically showed everything. That's where I want to end it off. Yeah, it's all right, it's all right. That's where we're ending off the video. We've got some dates for sure. However, I would suspect some delay in it. Don't be too surprised if... It's either that, or maybe they're trying to hold out a lot to prepare for the next season. Because the dub has already been pushed back a lot with the episodes, and that's a different story. The English dub, they're trying to match it with the dub. The dub has been pushed back a lot, and yes, that is true. I'm gonna end it off with that. If you are wondering, for Ukraine, their version of covering Rise, they're already past like. They cover, it's really, I don't even want to get into it. Just thank you all for watching. Have an awesome, amazing day.